Well, good morning, church. Alan Skeen, one of the elders at Cornerstone Bible Church. If you've been following along with our video series, you know that our mission at Cornerstone Bible Church is to glorify God by leading people to know Jesus, to grow into his likeness, and go make him known to others. And our vision is to see every member equipped and sent to bring the transforming power of Christ to every home, workplace, school, and neighborhood in central and eastern Geauga County to the glory of God. This week, we continue discussing our core values, truth, dependence, compassion, and stewardship, which define how we live out our mission and vision. Last week, you heard from Chris Copley on developing a culture of truth, and that truth originates from God. Today, we look at a culture of dependence. Simply put, the dictionary defines culture as a set of shared attitudes, values, goals, and practices that characterize our institution or organization. So why is it important that we have a culture of dependence on God in our lives? Because it personifies who we are and what we believe and value. John 4:24 tells us God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship in spirit and truth. If truth originates from God, then our dependence must also be on God. Biblically, dependence on God refers to the reliance and trust in God's power, wisdom, and provision in all aspects of life. It's a fundamental aspect of Christian faith, emphasizing the believer's need to rely on God rather than on human strength or understanding. Many times we strive for independence, wanting to make our own decisions and follow our own courses. We prefer not to rely on others and wish for freedom to do as we please. From a theological perspective, however, it is asserted that all people are inherently reliant on God, regardless of their awareness or acceptance of this dependence. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths." When we depend on God, we can have confidence that he will guide us down the right path for our lives. This stands in contrast to self-sufficiency, recognizing our helplessness and complete reliance on God for redemption and transformation. 2 Corinthians 3:5 reminds us that not that we are sufficient in ourselves to claim anything is coming from us, but our sufficiency is from God. Instilling dependence on God entails building a consistent relationship with him through daily prayer, immersing yourself in his word, actively trusting him with your needs and worries, seeking his will and decisions, and serving others as an expression of faith and focusing on his guidance over self-sufficiency. Prayer is an essential way to show our reliance on God. Philippians 4:6-7 says, "Be anxious for nothing, but in everything, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus." By praying, we acknowledge our dependence on God and experience his peace. Prayer shows that we trust God's character and promises, admitting that our own strength and wisdom are not enough, and recognizing that true direction and provision come from him. It's important to recognize that individualism and complacency should not lead to the belief that one can exist independently from God. Pursuing self-sufficiency does not align with our standard purpose. Transformation and growth are only possible through him. The Apostle Paul demonstrated dependence on God through his ministry and personal life. In 2 Corinthians 12:9-10, he writes, "But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is perfected in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly in my weakness, so that the power of Christ may rest on me." Dependence on God is a recognition of human limitations in God's omnipotence. It involves humility, acknowledging that apart from God, we can do nothing. This dependence fosters a deeper relationship with God as believers learn to trust him in every circumstance, leading to spiritual growth and maturity. Thanks for listening. We're looking forward to what God will do at Cornerstone as we press deeper into a culture of dependence on him for our good and his glory.